Hello and welcome to the sorter column video. This is something that I include in a lot of spreadsheets that I make, and it confuses people no end when I start to explain how it works. So I thought I'd make this video so that not only can you see how it works, but also very often this process needs to be only be used once a year or so. So it does become a little bit tricky because people forget how to actually use it. You'll find now your colors might vary if you've got a custom spreadsheet for me, but there'll usually be a two-color kind of process, and in this case, the red is the data entry cells, and the green, excuse me, headers are the formulated cells. So in this case, I've made it gray. Very often I make it gray because it's kind of a neutral color, doesn't draw your attention to it. But if you've got gray in your color scheme, I might use a different color. But it'll always be called sorter, and it's always blank, and it never really does anything. And it's not part of the process, and it's kind of looks a bit awkward because it's not really supposed to be there in a sense. So you only really using up to that point, and so far you've probably just ignored the sorter column, and now you're wondering what on earth it does. Let me show you. This is just a very basic example, but yours might be a little bit more complicated, but in essence, it really boils down to the same thing. So what I've done in this case is I've said, when you put the date done in, if you've put so in this case, the rule I've set is if the date is older than today's date, then I want the data can come out. So today being the 10th of January 2025, if I put, for example, the 8th of January, the 9th of January, this one's finished on the 10th, this one's finished on the 11th. So now you can see what it's done is it's put in the remove column, it's put in the removed on the ones that are older than today's date. These ones are either today or tomorrow, so therefore there's no removed in yet. If I leave it 2 or 3 days, the removed will add itself into there. So let's just put this one in from the 7th of January. And then let's say, well, these ones are all done, and you did actually did this one as well on the 9th of January down here. So now you've got these removed. So now you can leave it. You can leave the data in it. Just because it's got removed doesn't necessarily mean it has to be removed. If it does, I would have told you when I've given you your spreadsheet, but in most cases, you don't have to remove it. It's just there when you want to remove it. So now you get to the end of the year or whatever, especially if you've got kind of rolling data, or if you want to, sometimes businesses will have data in that at the end of the year, they want to clear out all the stuff that's completed, but they want to keep the stuff that's been carried over into the new year or however it might work. Your spreadsheet would have been set up so your remove column will only show it when it can be removed. Now I get to the point where I'm reaching the end of the spreadsheet and I don't have enough room and I need to clear out some stuff. All I do is I do this. I'll select the column, not the whole column, just from below the header downwards of the removed. I'll say right click copy and I'll paste values, not normal paste. That will paste the formulas and the lock the cells and everything and corrupt it. Paste values because I just want to paste the values into that sorter column. And the sorter column is temporary. So I paste the values in, and then I can use the sorter column to sort Z to A or A to Z. In this case, I want to keep the clear ones at the bottom, so Z to A, and it brings all the removed up to the top, which means I can now clear out the removed, clear contents. And then I can resort. So I can resort by the date done, or I can resort by whichever one I want to do. And I can resort oldest to newest, and it brings the data in. This one's got some blank cells in. So let's just clear those ones out. It still doesn't change. It's sorted by those. So if you resort it again, you can then sort it by that, and it should then, yeah, there we go. It's got rid of the blank cells. So essentially what you've done is you've got you want all the removed together. So you've copied that, you paste it into there. Once you're done, you can clear those ones out. Sometimes you may have, it might not just say removed, it might actually give it a kind of a ranking so that it puts it in order when you resort, so you can clear out batches and leave other batches. Yours might be different, but the concept remains the same. There should be a column to the right-hand side that actually tells you that this is the remove column or this is the one that you want to use, and it will show you some kind of alert that that's the data that needs to be cleared. All you do is you put it into the temporary sorter column so that you can sort in order to clear. Now, sometimes I make these kind of things and you don't even need to clear anything. Sometimes it's just a temporary sorter because you may have 5 or 6 different formulated columns here, which aren't data entry, but you may we may from time to time need to sort by them. You can still do the same process, simply copy that and paste values into the sorter and sort by it. And once you've sorted by it, just clear the values out because those values, because you pasted values, they won't change. So they won't update with the rest of the spreadsheet, but just as a temporary sort, you can paste it in, paste values, sort, then clear them out. And once you've done so, you then got it in order of one of the locked columns because these locked columns, I can't let you sort by them because it corrupts the formulas. So that would be the calculation column, paste the data in using paste values, sort, and then clear it out. And then you can remove what you don't remove if that's the purpose of the sorter column. So they really are just temporary columns for you to paste other data in so that you can sort in order to get them all together. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.